Hey folks, Hope here, and welcome to an updated city tour video. I threw on some shaders and I want to just walk through everything and give you some time to see all of the details that we've thrown in throughout the place. Coming through the front gate here, we do have our guard sitting here to make sure no creepers walk into the city and cause any harm. But I absolutely love the look of this down the street here with the sun coming in. It's early in the morning. We've got 3 routes to take, and for now we can wander up this way. A little farm over there. We've got a guild hall building back here that still needs an interior space. We've got the inn with its little back garden section. And apparently there's somebody snoring. I'm going to say that's snoring on the inside of the inn. We've got a library over here. The path splits again. That's our tailor shop. And then you can stay up here to a new addition that we've made that I love so very much, to where we need to throw a few things in for these stores. Not too sure what they're going to be yet, but we do have this really fun path right back in here leading up to an outpost where somebody might be living, kind of just hidden on the side of the mountain. Not really too sure how they got up there, but they're living there now. Coming back down, we do have a chapel in here that has a great interior to it of just a stone cliff, and it has a little bit of a front balcony here where you can look out over our central square. Before taking the path down to that lower level, we would be sitting on top of the catacombs that I have thought about actually opening up and turning into a real door so we can go inside of it. Thought that could be pretty cool. But here we're back on the main street, coming back up from the tailor shop on the other side. We have the grocery store right over in here with a full interior to it. A little back alleyway that we'll see from the other side momentarily. And then this building is meant to be like wagon storage. It's about half, maybe a third complete for the interior. We've got a little market in there. And then this leads us into the inn itself, where you have a really cool carpet, some seating spaces, and I don't know where this zombie is, but I'm kind of scared. We've got the kitchen built out back in here that I love so very much, and I really wanted to go for the atmosphere and just fun colors inside of this entire space, and I think he's above me. Oh, cool, we don't have a door. Yeah, he's fine up there. Back up to the main gate, we can take the right path now, where we have a small market stall selling just miscellaneous goods. Again, another alleyway leading back to that other connection point that we just had, where we have a little well back over here, or something that's just collecting all of the rainwater falling off, seeing as we have the giant tree above us. Once it rains, that thing is probably dripping for days, so if they're able to collect the water a little bit in here, that is great. A small little station here with some tools and storage for whatever they might need to maintain this section, and then this just pushes us back out to that main road. Back over on this pathway itself, we've got in here a stables where we did store one of every single type of animal in the game here, except camels. I have not gotten a camel over here yet, so we're gonna have to do that, but I absolutely love how it turned out in here. Being underneath the massive tree now, we have to make sure this entire space is spawn proof, otherwise there are spooky monsters all over the place. But I love the little details I've thrown in here, like a random shrine carved into the city wall itself. We've got the tower on the corner. Taking a few steps up here, we have a carpenter shop, and then this is a really cool blacksmith building where we have the base interior forge done. Down below, where we have 2 smithing stations set up, maybe 2 smiths. I think I said it was 2 sisters are running the blacksmith together, and so they have all their iron ore and everything over there, and just a really cool space to see everything together. A pile of coal. Then we come to another change in the elevation, as I've really wanted to have a lot of height variation in the city. Inside this place is meant to be a bakery eventually, and we can see that by the outside of cakes are here and a few little bushes and planters and things. That leads down into the new expansion of the city we've just completed. Coming back down this way, however, we are coming into this little section here with the back of our stables and all the storage, and leading ourselves back over to the road, where inside of here we have a wagon workshop where somebody's working on building some wagons. So we got some extra supplies in the back and one here hoisted up that they're currently building. We've got some space for some extra details to throw in there that we'll get to soon. And then right over here, this is the grocery store, and we've got a really cool section, some coral down there to be like berries or something, produce growing, and just a bunch of stuff crammed around here. Hidden in the back, we actually do have a redstone farm that you can probably hear running. Right down here, there is a pumpkin and melon farm that I really like having. It's very nice having it in the city because it runs very often. The mansion itself has been turned into a town hall, as if somebody who used to rule over the area lived inside of here, and then it's been repurposed for the community. And I love it so very much. So we have this grand entry hall in here that's very, very cool. I just wanted to have fun with colors in this building. So we have a lot of our warped, our kind of bluey greeny colors, and then we have a lot of acacia in here too, with a little bit of skulk and some flowers mixed in. And this is my original bow. Oh, sorry. That's my original bow sitting above the fireplace. I just thought was a cool addition to throw it in there because I saved it when it had like 2 durability left on it. This can go up or we can stay down, which gives us access to a kitchen where the people who conducting business in here can come over and get some food when they want to. Now on the far side, we just have a few more meeting rooms. This is somebody's office right in there. And then I crammed in another small meeting room right back in here, and then a third one right over in here. This pathway leads us up to the garden, which we'll get to momentarily, as we can access that also from the upper level, where there still is some housing up here. Maybe this is where the mayoral figure of the city is living, at least for like this upper section of the city. So they would live up here with a really cool vaulted ceiling in the middle. We've got a little storage closet in there. And then their actual bedroom, which I think I called my bedroom, but I don't think I've ever slept in here, is right up here. So we got a massive bed looking out over the city and a very cool like walk-in closet feel right in here with a ton of storage. And then they have their own office right back here if they need to figure out some things. I definitely intended for this to be mine, and I've literally never walked in here to use it. So we're just doing a quick little tour. Down the far side, however, we have a bit of a trophy room at the end of the hall. We also have another bedroom in here with a bunch of bunk beds for maybe the kids would be living in here. Thought that'd be pretty cool. And then right over here is the room of 1000, because this was actually the 1000th video I made on my main channel when I built the interior for this, so I thought it was just kind of funny and I didn't know what to throw in here. Right here we have netherite, we've got our diamond, we've got our gold, we've got our beacons to light up the room, the netherite swords, and the works. And I just thought this was a really fun addition to throw in kind of a weird space at the end of the hall, just having a random trophy room. It is very cool seeing the buildings behind it now, because I haven't been in here since we built the expansion. So seeing the city extended further out, I really like that. Now to exit the upper floor, we come out to this small little, I call it a wine drinking area. I don't know, somewhere you'd sit outside in the garden, and then imagine those are just old bottles of wine. You can pop one open and sit there and have a sip. And then you have the access to the rest of the gardens, where we have a very cool fountain right over here. On the upper levels, we have a trellis of sorts, a bunch of flowers crammed in everywhere. We have a trellis type thing here, and then we have a bunch of trees along the back edge just to kind of hide the mountain. Some benches that you can sit on and look out over everything. And this leads to a shrine where a smaller version of the world tree is currently growing. It is starting to get a little blotted out by the shaders as the sun is setting, but it is very beautiful. So I wanted to have this smaller one, as if they're trying to grow another sapling maybe before it's transported elsewhere into the world. But we just have a ton of really manicured lawns in here, all of the different obelisks and everything like that. Beacons to light it all up and keep it safe, and I'm really happy with it. So we got dark oak saplings here, some shrubberies, and then another water source down here is like a pond or something with a bunch of flowers throughout. And then this leads us back here into the mansion itself, coming down that staircase that I had mentioned originally. I absolutely love the look of the city at night here with all of the northern lights appearing and everything like that, but it is not completely mob proof, so to stay safe, we're gonna skip it. On to the new expansion of the city. As we're here in the morning, we still have places to fill in right over there, but I'm so very excited about this one. This is meant to be a clockmaker's workshop. I've still got to build out the interior and add a few more gadgets and gizmos to the outside of it to make it make a little bit more sense. Over here we have the school that I still need to name, and we're going to build a really cool interior for that with a bunch of classrooms on the first floor. Another little back alleyway that can take you up above and kind of connect to the different streets. A main goal I've had with this city is I don't want it to just be one road moving throughout. I want to have multiple pathways for people to explore. So here we have a guild that I still haven't determined the name of it. Ooh, we have that broken block state on this. I don't know how it got missed, but hanging signs, that side is always broken. So if you do this and you place it right here, you can see it's fixed. But if you do this, place it there, you can see it's broken, but it has the same result. So you just have to reverse it if you get that bug. As we pass by the guild hall, they have an overpass here that leads into a giant tower where I set up this little like veggie stand down below it. We've got another stand right there, maybe selling some flowers and whatever trinkets they could fit inside that. We've got a bunch of little just market stands as people are traveling down the main roads. Obviously, people are going to be trying to sell goods and make a little bit of coin. On the far side, we have a lift getting you up into the tower or whatever supplies would need to get moved up in there, because there's no door at the base. So you'd have to go all the way through, loop up, around, and go. So the lift is in there to help out with that. We've got a hay cart transporting throughout the city. We've got the post office right in here, so they've got a little place to pull through. Park the cart where it's dry, unload all the post, and then they can take it all inside and process it and move it throughout the city even further. This is where the city opens up to the work in progress stage. But right over here, we do have another stable building with a little overpass or underpass, so you can go underneath the building. And we need to expand that down there. And then we have the inn itself, which is looking very, very cool. Up this pathway, I absolutely love. Taking a step back here, we have a barber shop with like somebody probably just living in the first floor of it. The barber would be right in there. On the back, we have a potion shop, and I really love how this little space turned out with a fountain right in here. We just have a little bit of seating and some flowers, kind of showing it as a community hangout area right off of the crazy street. Some families who would live in these houses would probably just be hanging out here. So that is our potion brewery that you can kind of see marked by the giant vats sticking out the top of the building itself. And then right over here, we have a herbalist, which I still want to expand and bring in some more plant designs, especially a little garden right behind it up on kind of the bluff where the world tree sits. But for now, they have this little garden with a bunch of little different types of plants and things throughout it, just various ones. And we have this cherry blossom tree kind of vine thing winding its way all the way up around the building that, if you remember from a few moments ago, this is our bakery. So we're back up in this section right here, the back of the guild hall right here. And then you can loop down this way to get down to the alleyway that I had showed earlier. And we do have a start of an expansion back here behind the school, which is a little garden at the base of our mansion itself. And then a small play yard that we still need to fill out and decorate with some things for the school kids to be able to play at when it's recess. Now we can wander our way down the main road and catch up once we get to the lower industrial district of the city, which can begin right here with another mansion of sorts, smaller scale than that one, but it's sitting right here as another form of a town hall for this lower section. As the city is so big, they probably have multiple government buildings throughout just to help manage everything. But right over here, we can jump into where I have my lava farm. So if I ever need lava, this room is ready to go for that. And we have a small work yard here ready to go that I also want to turn this into like a forge of sorts on the inside and some more machinery elements. We just need to actually get around to doing it. But I did decorate out the little yard that I love so very much. Right across from that, we have another building in here that is hiding some too tall flower farms, just so we can get access to dye if we need them. They are there ready to go. And behind that building, there is another little garden space that I really love. I'm trying to throw these in all over there. I think I'm going to actually curve that a little bit more. Just give a little bit more foot space as you're walking around, because there's not a door back here, so they don't really need to just be a tiny pathway. Next to that, however, is the armory? Yes, the armory, where I am storing every single armor template in the game. So we have a barracks building right over in here that has just a small little interior space for the guards to hang out. And then down in here, we have a hall showing off a few more of the armor trims and everything like that, just some decorative stuff throughout. Even more of them being displayed right in here. And the forge, where I come every single time I want to update my armor trim. We can do that right here at the smithing table. So we've got the silence on display here in the corner. Seeing these all lit up like this is really cool. I absolutely love this. But inside of here, we do have a small little like storage space for the armory to store onto some iron and everything like that, with a small lift to move things up and down. And then we have a way to bring things in from the outside. The height doesn't match up too perfectly, so I'd say it's come in and then to be able to drop down. I don't really know. Back up this day, we do have a little wonky staircase that can lead you out on top of the front entrance to the armory, just in case they do need to defend it a little bit. And then back inside over here, we have the little back way where we have a few more of the armor trims being displayed right there, and access into if I need any additional storage. That's right up here. That's definitely not just the ceiling. Then this leads into the top level of that, where there's no second floor to it yet. Moving on to one of the more main streets here in the industrial district. So you can see the too tall flower farm building extending out over there for a little addition. We've got a market stall right here as we're leading out the back gate that's going to go down to the harbor eventually. Then this up here, we have a very, very cool building that I love so very much. This is a pointed dripstone farm and a callback to Gobland in Empire Season 2 of the Drip Tavern. It's the same color palette, similar styles, and I just brought it into something more classic medieval Minecraft. We've got a small garden here backing the lava farm building. We've got a few carts around and everything like that I love so very much. Selling some fresh firewood in here. And we come across the square with a giant fountain with a pink cherrywood horse in the middle of it that I really love. And the other side of that town hall building, which is sitting above a mangrove farm. So we need to figure out how to access that down below more easily. But wandering this way to the alley behind the Drip Tavern, we have the Drip Lounge, which I really, really love. So I tried recreating the bar from Goblin, at least the general theme of it, down here so we could have that ready to go. And then you come into the back of this point, and this is where my very terrible dripstone farm is. But it is a farm, so it works. It's fine. Back out this way, we have another little market stall sitting right in there. We've got a guard barracks section here attached into the wall, so they could have a place to have more guards stationed if they need to get up and prepare any defenses or anything. They are ready to go. This is meant to be an inn or a tavern of sorts. Yeah, an inn here, symbolized by the bed. And we've still got to work on the interior of that one, but it's looking pretty good. Over here, we have the Bamboo's bookstore, which I really, really love because this leads us down in here. Well, first we have the really cool interior space for the Bamboo Lounge itself into the underbelly of the city where I have all the storage for my bamboo farm, which is this massive thing, and it looks like it is broken. So I'm going to have to fix that. But you can come in here and grab a beverage, grab a book to read, and sit down and just hang out in a really cool little spot. I love it. Coming back over this way, though, we can come back up into that square with our big horse statue. Here we have the city marketplace, the foliage market, where I am storing every single type of foliage block in the game. So we have all of our crops over here. We've got all of our flowers. We've got all the nether foliage. We've got the 2 tall flowers and hanging things in here. Small drip leaf. We got saplings in this. And we have all of the leaf types and variants and stuff over there, which I'm very happy about. And I just wanted to decorate it. So every single type of plant that exists in the game is on display in some point in this place. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. Right over here, we have a big building as a ode to my friend Mythical Sausage. We have Mythland Meats in there. And then this, I believe, is like a machinery or carpentry shop. What does it say? Mary's Mechanics. Yeah, a mechanic lives in there. None of these really have interiors yet, but they are eventual goals, and it looks like it's getting a little laggy and a little late at night. I'll be honest, I was expecting this tour to be like 15 minutes to get through it all, and we're closing in on 20. But this building right here is another newer addition where I still need to build. Oh my gosh, there's a bee in the city. Wow, a resident. This is meant to be a cookie shop or sorts of a bakery. Right now, all we have is in the upper floor, we have the cocoa bean farm right up here that's fully ready to go. For some reason, looking this way is terrorizing my frame, so I do apologize for that. But we have a back exit to the city and pillagers on the hill, so I really need to finish the wall going up to the top of the hill. Got it. Thank you for the reminder. Over here, we have a bit of wagon storage for the copper factory, which is one of my favorite buildings inside this world. We have a jelly cat sitting here at the front. This thing is fully decorated out. So the process through this building is you bring on the copper in here. So the copper ore comes in this place, gets put on our conveyor belt, goes through here, gets crushed by this system, turns into raw copper that we can then smelt and turn into ingots. That gets dispensed over here into smaller carts that just carrying a bunch of the raw copper. Since we have all the impure stone bits taken out of it, we just have our copper. Then that copper is going to come back out this way into the back area here where we have 1, 2, and 3 forges ready to go just to be loaded with a bunch of our copper. And we actually have blast furnaces in here, so it is a active system. If you want to throw some fuel in, you could actually smelt some copper in here. The rest of our little back place here is a bit of a generator of sorts. I don't really know why I thought we needed a generator, but apparently we need that in a medieval city. So that's here. Yeah, I kind of go off the lore of this world that it's a medieval fantasy city and that there's some fantasy races that do have machinery and things. I mean, we have gadgets and gizmos all over these little silos here. So lore-wise, it kind of makes sense. Maybe they traded with the dwarves in the cave nearby. But after the copper is smelted, it is transported over to this building where it is ready to be taken out into the city or whatever projects. Whoever has purchased it, this copper is here ready to go and ready to be delivered. And then the realism side of that, in terms of Minecrafty stuff, is we can come all the way down here, a little low underground because I did have to get underneath some other farms, but we have a copper aging facility that can age down 4 stacks of copper blocks at once, and it looks like I need to reload the second layer. But that right there is the copper factory that I'm very, very happy with how it turned out. And a big element of this city, if you haven't noticed, is I want greenery and flowers all over the place. So as we continue down the main street here, it's been a big element I've wanted to add in more of the Old Town Industrial District area. I figured we have space for a lot more plants, and the buildings are a little bit more spread out down here. So this pathway will lead you right back over to the bamboo shop, where we have the inn there, and then we have whatever store this is meant to be, with a little overpass actually connecting the two together. And then if we take this end over here to the right, we have another smaller house here where somebody is probably just living inside. And then we have this watermill, which inside the trapdoor, thank you. Inside the watermill, we have our hanging root and our glowberry farms, with a little bit of storage for both of those inside of here, with a little side room for whoever would be managing the watermill, because that is along this little, it's not a creek, it's like a channel that goes out to the river. And we have the big wheel in there that'd be turning as the water is coming off of the mountain springs. And as you can see, there's a lot of greenery along the edges of the channel, and I really love it. So we've got the back street here, which is very cool. So you can see the back of all those buildings we were just walking on the front side of, with our overpass that would connect you through to here, to a small workshop of sorts, and maybe just a general market where people are selling some goods. And then a back entrance to the second floor of the inn where the patrons would be staying. Over here we have the back of the barracks and a few banners going along the top just to add extra color. And then we can turn our way this way to the bridge leading over the top of the channel, and we have some very cool buildings. A little market stall in there. Coming down this way, we have a blacksmith shop ready to go. And we've got a storage building on the first floor and just kind of a general living quarters on the second. Then we have a fish and chip stand right over in here, so you can get your fishies and your chippies, and it's gonna go great. And then we've got a little outdoor carpentry station here where somebody might be building a boat or something like that, which I thought was really cool. We've got access to some living quarters up on the top. We've got a big door here leading inside to whatever that would be, so probably something maybe themed around the carpentry, like the larger workshop is on the inside. And we've got a small storefront in here with plenty of space for people to live on top, which I just think is a really cool way to do it. To see this back end and grass grow over everything. Okay, all right, I gotta figure out how to fix that. We have a really cool custom tree back here with some jungle leaves and a bunch of jungle fences and mud and everything like that. Well, our packed mud, a little carrot field right back in here so people inside here can eat, and maybe there are some local gardeners. We got a little beetroot field and a little backyard section in here, and a staircase people can take to get up to the second floor of this building, leading us back around right here. Well, this is the more in the works area. I want to put a big crane here lifting out over the river so we can unload things from the ships down there. We've got a small staircase that can take you down to the docks. And then this is the front. It's kind of a storage room building of sorts. Not too sure right now. It's just holding a bunch of mud in front of it to mark that at the inside I have a small dirt to mud farm. I need to get a weaker shovel to make it work because it's still breaking on me. Then we've got another little outdoor workstation. I want to make sure we're throwing a lot of these in throughout the city, so it's not just building. We're having a lot of different things that we're actively building, like a small chicken coop right over in here. Free roaming chickens in a box. So they've been living in here for a while now. Do you get any more friends? Oh, you do get a friend. Wow, look at that. Before we head back up the mountain, we've got a building right here marked by all of the dry kelp. This is a dried kelp farm that I really like. So we have the output right back in here, and you can see a lot of it coming through. I'm pretty sure I'm out of fuel. Yeah, definitely. Okay, we'll have to craft some up and get that thing moving again, but it is all completely hidden underground, a fully functional self-contained system, which I really like. Coming up above that, we have another warehouse that stores all of the dirt related things. So we have dirt, we have grass, podzol, and all the way down through your gravels, sands, muds, packed muds, and clays and all that. So those are all stored in here. And then at the upper layer of this one, we have ourselves all of the red sand that I took out of the mesa because I forgot to incorporate that into storage down below. So that sits up here. I am really happy with how this building came out. I think it's a really fun one to have down here, and we have a really cool tree, but I want to bring more buildings etched into the cliff as we're moving around to that side and kind of end the city before that bend over there. I think it would be really cool to have that expansion going. Back over this way, you can see ourselves connecting right back into where we were with the fish and chip stand there. Leading ourselves upward, we have a few more spots to stop at. We have another small stable building here. This is for the workhorses who would be working at the factory that we're walking up to right now. And a random little obelisk that I threw in recently just because I wanted something fun here on the corner. We've got a few custom trees to kind of blur the line between the buildings and the mountain. And here we enter the brick factory, it's just kind of general bricks and flower pots and everything that you could need. The brickworks, anything that comes out of clay and mud and all that is kind of made up here. So we have all of our forges where everything is being cooked down and aged and turned into bricks or mud bricks and everything like that. We've got the clay ready to go in. We've got a bunch of piles of coal back in here ready to go and to keep the fires moving. As you can see, we have 5 of them. So there's a lot of fuel needed to keep this system running. And inside of here, you can see them working on some pots with the different sherds that you can throw into the side and just some extra details. And we have little flower pots in here. So those are all for sale and going to be transported throughout the city soon. We've got a small warehouse building in here that is mostly just blocked up and there for show. And then we have the place where all of the mud bricks and regular bricks are being aged before they're going to be transported out throughout the city. And I just thought it was a cool space to do it. We got a little workstation in the middle. And then on the inside, we have a dirt to mud to clay farm. If we ever need to get some clay, we have this, which is just done by having some pointed dripstone down below it. So it pulls all of the water out of the mud and turns it into clay. One day there will maybe potentially be an interior in there, but right now there is not. As the sun sets on day 3 of touring around the city, these city walk videos are getting a little long because this city is absolutely massive, and I want to make sure I show off every little bit from start to finish each time that we do it and make sure everybody can get fully caught up on everything going on around here. So I hope you did enjoy. Please be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know what your favorite building inside the city is, and let me know something that you think I should be adding to the city. That would be extremely helpful. But with that, my friends, leave a like, please subscribe, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side.